Hi everyone, my name is Skio, and I'm from Outside the Box News and Views, independent media of Erie, Pennsylvania. You can check our website out at OutsideTheBoxNewsAndViews.com for some of the related material that we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, let me start off by saying, do you believe that there is a conspiracy for federal world government? Or are we living in federal world government? For what I believe that we are in federal world government, and that the international community is making laws, stealing liberties, and stealing rights. How do I come to that conclusion? Am I just your average, everyday conspiracy theorist? Well, before you jump the gun and call me a conspiracy theorist, hear me out. Okay? 9 years ago, I got a hold of 15 videotapes. And these videotapes ranged from talking about the police state to federal world government. For the first 3 years of those 9 years, I was a little skeptic. I didn't believe right away that there was something called federal world government or a new world order. But something changed because I found something. I found my own documentation that proved that there was a conspiracy to control the world through an international lawmaking body of government known as federal world government. I know, I'm going off the deep end. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a crazy kook. But I'm going to share it with you. What I have here is a 1937 Department of War training manual that they were teaching the top brass. It was a course. And this is book 3. And on page 744 is Federal World Government Blueprints. Let me read this to you. The scope of federal world government was with foreign policy, defense, finance, international justice, commerce, and communication. Now that was dealing with the international affairs. Now it says that it does not deal with domestic problems, but that is a lie. If you do a very well research on domestic relations and child support and the child support laws through the international community, you will find that the child support laws come directly from the United Nations. Plan number 1 is by population. This is how they were going to implement it. Well, how do you reach such a mass population? Well, through your schools, indoctrinating the children, not teaching them, but indoctrinating them. Indoctrinating them to accept globalization, interdependence, and so forth. Plan number 2 was by nations. Now, that's an obvious, that's a given. If you're going to create world government, you got to bring the nations together. But if you listen very carefully times when politicians are talking, they slip. They'll call a country a nation or a state. Instead of calling it a country or a nation, they'll call it a state, excuse me. Number 3, the plan for number 3 was upper chambers by nation and lower chamber by population, getting everyone to work in unison to create federal world government. economic adjustments, no tariff walls, no immigration barriers, and an international currency. Well, no immigration barriers. Let's take the United States, for example. In January of this year, or 2005, excuse me, President Bush got together with the Prime Minister of Canada and the President of Mexico, and they merged all three countries together, which is now known as the North American Union, NAU for short. And they're also developing a currency called the Amero. Now, do some Google researches on this and you'll see what I'm talking about. The settlement of disputes. How are they going to settle the disputes? One is an international court of justice. Don't we have that? I do believe it's called The Hague. The enforcement by international army. Don't we have that? United Nations peacekeepers. Well, if you'd like to check this out close, because my little camera here won't adjust to it and give you a good viewing, you can go to freewebs.com/PASOV and click on documents, and this will come up. Also on there is a book entitled Total Peace, written by Eli Culberson. Eli Culberson was a chess player in the 1940s who drew up the plans for federal world government and how to make it stronger. Which, if any of you will remember George W. Bush Sr., what did he say? Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective is to create a new world order where diverse nations come together for the common cause, or something on that effect. You can do Google and YouTube searches on that. But anyway, now you see, America and world, that there is a grand conspiracy for federal world government. So I implore you to get active and to stop these atrocities, because all they're going to do is start stealing your liberties and your freedoms. They don't care about you, because if they cared about you, they would have informed you, and they wouldn't have been doing it in secret. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to give up my sovereignty. Well, this is Keo Patriot. If you have any comments about this, you can email me at otb.views@yahoo.com. I implore you, world, to start doing your research, because that little manual right there proves that there is a conspiracy, and we're not all conspiracy theorists. Well, I'm out of here. See ya!